theme of a preseason that leads us to, well, a Saturday in August. And if you're in Philadelphia, 57% humidity at 85 degrees is about what you would expect. We don't expect to see any precipitation today. We might get some cloud cover, though, that could provide a little bit of relief. As we get you ready for this one, let's get down to the field. The third man of our crew, Dave Spadaro. Hey, Dave.
Hi, Scott. Thank you very much. A change at quarterback today. We will not see Tanner McKee. The Eagles very pleased with him after completing 20 of 25 passes, accounting for 3 touchdowns in last week's game, and then playing well in these 2 practices during the week against the Browns. So it will be Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting against his former team, and then the local guy, Kyle McCord, 6th-round draft pick from Maple Shade, New Jersey, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, St. Joe's Prep. The Eagles want to find out about their number 3 quarterback and build that quarterback room. And they will have some targets today. Impressive performances last week. Johnny Wilson, Anaya Smith, Darius Cooper. Impressive. Who wins jobs on the roster? They are on the line today at wide receiver. Back to you guys in the booth.
Now, those who look at the numbers, we're going to be talking about these guys over the course of this game. There is a lot still to discuss, and although this is in a lot of ways, Ross, a fairly set team, Nick Sirianni and his staff still have a number of decisions to make over the course of the next 3 weeks.
There's no question. I think the pecking order for those receivers that Dave just pointed out, whether they're 4 or 5 or 6, offensive line, a lot of the backup jobs are very much available to see who the next guy is, and as we've seen in recent years, a lot of times that next man up has to play some important games for the Birds.
Browns won the toss. They have elected to take the football first. Caden Davis is back along with Travion Williams. And there is your kickoff, perfectly placed inside the 5-yard line. That is Davis trying to find a lane to the outside. He got a corner to turn, and he's going to make it out across the 35-yard line before he's shoved out of bounds. So taking a look at the Eagles starters. Eagles starting lineups presented by Janney Montgomery Scott, official wealth management and financial planning partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Scott, we talked about some of the jobs available on offense. There's a lot more on defense, right? Still 1 linebacker spot next to Zach Baum, the corner opposite Quinyon Mitchell, the safety next to Reed Blankenship, and a bunch of important roles on the D-line. 7 of, I'd say, the top 16 or 17 guys on defense still up for grabs.
And the Browns, who ran the football a lot in the joint practices. We saw that a lot over the course of the work week. They're strong, getting a gain of 4 on first down.
The Browns do, by the way, have some of their starters out there. DeJuan Jones, the left tackle, and Dylan Gabriel, their 3rd-round pick quarterback, is in fact getting the start for the Browns today. There you see Deontay Johnson, who had some big years in Pittsburgh. That'll be good work for Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson.
2nd down and 6. Gabriel chased out of the pocket, and down he goes. Good quick rush off the edge. And it was Jihad Campbell came in and made the play for a loss of 4.
Watch Jihad come in on the blitz. This is one of the things he did very well at Alabama. He hits it. The right guard's not ready for it, but that's because there's no hesitation from Campbell, and he has a burst. Zinter, the right guard for the Browns, has to have eyes on that linebacker to his side. Terrific timing and a big play already from the Eagles' 1st-round pick.
So back to a 3rd down and 10 now for the Browns, with a man in motion for Gabriel. Still struggling to find his spot, but he found a wide open receiver across the middle in his tight end Blake Whiteheart. And that is going to be good enough for a Browns 1st down.
Decent edge rushes there from the Eagles, which is a critical thing, Scott, for us to watch today. Eagles are still looking for that number 3 edge guy. Both Uche and Ojulari did a pretty good job there, but they weren't able to finish the rushes, and Gabriel stepped up and delivered a nice ball there for Cleveland.
And they run the draw to the middle of the field. Didn't look like there was a whole lot there, but it ended up being a 4-yard gain over into Eagles territory before Jeremiah Trotter made the tackle.
So excited to be able to watch Jihad Campbell getting all these reps. You know, it's interesting, Scott, they've had some recent success drafting guys that fell to them because of injuries. You think about Landon Dickerson 5 years ago. Cooper DeJean last year, and now Jihad Campbell, most people thought was a top 10, 15 guy, but fell to 31 because of the shoulder injury.
Cedric Tillman, the man in motion for the Browns on second down. Gabriel's being chased once again. This time he's going to duck and run. And discretion is the better part of valor as he takes a slide for a pickup of about a yard, maybe 2.
Let's watch Azeez Ojulari. He's one of the guys competing for that third edge rusher job. Now, this is the Browns starting left tackle, DeJuan Jones. So Ojulari, ooh, I love the rip under there. They needed help, forced Gabriel to step up. That's a good sign there. Ojulari, Scott, he's had over 5 sacks in 3 of his 4 years in New York, so he has shown that he can get it done. Let's see if he gets it done here on 3rd and 6.
Got to make it inside the 43-yard line to keep the drive going. Blitz coming. Gabriel right on time, and that's going to be good for another Browns first down. Jamari Thrash making the catch on the far sideline for an 8-yard pickup.
The undrafted rookie Brandon Johnson is getting some reps there. Keep your eye on Thrash, okay? Number 80. He's working against Brandon Johnson. Now, they got picked a little bit, but that's pretty good coverage, actually, by Johnson, who was at Duke, then he transferred to Oregon. That's just a perfect throw from Gabriel. It's a good start for the Browns rookie quarterback.
Into Eagles territory at the 41-yard line. And right back to the ground. Pushing the pile ahead. Amani Marshall gets it down to the 38-yard line for a pickup of 3.
It's interesting to note on that previous passing play, Scott, the Eagles had Jihad Campbell rushing off the edge over the right tackle. So you wonder if, we know that that's part of his game. That's what he did in high school here in South Jersey, then at IMG, and his first year at Alabama. He can rush off the edge. I love seeing them giving him a rep of that. Maybe he steps up and becomes one of the rotational edge rushers for the Eagles.
Second down, back to the ground. And punishing running down inside the 35-yard line. Adoree Jackson steps up to make the stop after a 5-yard pickup. 3rd down and short now coming up for Cleveland.
So this is when you got to finish. Watch Trotter. I love how smart he is. Scott, he sees it and he hits it, right? Goes under, but you got to make that play. You got to make that tackle. If you're a linebacker and you're going to undercut a block like he did there, you have got to bring him down. So Trotter was close, but close only counts in horseshoes.
We don't say hand grenades anymore?
I don't know, man. I don't know the rules. I'm not doing it. I don't know. You probably not. You did it, not me.
Yeah, that's true. 3rd down and short. That's going to be enough for another first down as Cleveland is converted now on 3 third downs. Pierre Strong making the catch down at the 28.
This is good work for the Eagles right now because Gabriel is very experienced, even though he's a rookie, as you see the Philly native, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach for the Cleveland Browns. But Gabriel, 6 years, one of the original NIL guys in college football. Went to Oklahoma, then he went to Oregon. He's already made a decent amount of money playing football, and this is the first time he's ever put on an NFL uniform.
On first down, timing play, and sitting down in the middle of the defense, making the catch, Deontay Johnson, the NFL veteran, 7-yard pickup on first down.
So this is what we saw from Adoree Jackson last week, okay? Watch Adoree Jackson. He's given Deontay Johnson a lot of respect there, a lot of respect. And I think you have to adjust a little bit, right? It's pretty clear, because this is what he did in college too. Dillon Gabriel gets rid of the ball quickly. He reminds me a little bit of Tua Tagovailoa, a couple lefties from Hawaii. I would like to see both Eagles corners play a little bit tighter in some of these situations.
And a reverse, well blocked. Plenty of room to run. And a first down in the red zone for Gage Larvidan, the rookie out of South Carolina. That's a 16-yard pickup.
Eagles need better from Ojulari here, okay? Watch Ojulari. He needs to stay patient and his responsibility. He didn't see it at all, and they're able to go right around him. As the edge guy on that side, he's responsible for setting the edge, and if he has no presence on that side, it's really tough for the other guys to read the reverse. This is not a good start for this Eagles group on defense. And Scott, a lot of these guys, they're expecting to contribute this season, whether they're starters or role players.
Officials blowing the whistle, and I think we got a timeout call for by Cleveland. Play clock was running down. That's going to stop the clock. What has been a very efficient drive that has taken up half of this quarter. And we're going to take a timeout. Defense trying to stand tall inside the 10 when we come back.
Wawa Hoagies are a winning
Beverly Hills official fan jewelry collection. This exclusive collection features rings, necklaces, and more, all inspired by the 2024 championship rings that were given to the team. Shop the line now at jasonofbh.com/Eagles. Well, 11 plays by the Browns to open the ball game have gotten them down inside the 10-yard line. First and goal begins at the 5 now as the Eagles defense tries to stand up. They have run the ball effectively, but this time, a lot of interference in the way. Gabe Hall stepping in, getting some penetration and holding them to a gain of about a yard.
So the Eagles stemmed the front, Scott. They shifted right before the snap, and watch Gabe Hall, 96 here. Because they moved the front, then a tight end has to block him. No shot. That's not happening. I mean, it's not a bad effort by Brendan Bates, but you're not getting a tight end to block a D tackle like Gabe Hall. Credit Fangio for that late movement up front.
Monty Marshall, the lone setback once again on second and goal. Finds his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Had an impressive drive for the Cleveland Browns to begin the game. Better than 8 minutes. And a march downfield of 13 plays gets him into the end zone.
You got to keep your gap no matter what, right? He ends up cutting it all the way back behind the backside. Front side wasn't bad, but you can see Ty Robinson on the backside. He lost his gap because he got snatched by one of the backside offensive linemen. It's a heads-up move by the Browns offensive lineman and a lesson for the Eagles rookie.
Extra point attempt from Dustin Hopkins. Bad snap. They've got a problem. They got to throw it away. That snap was down on the ground. Not a whole lot that they could do with it, and no chance to get the kick away. So it remains at a 6-0 score, but the bad snap costing the Browns a point. A captain of the team that won the Eagles' first Super Bowl. And they are both the newest members, championship members of the Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Fame. We take a look at what they accomplished over their careers. Both part of championships. Bucko Kilroy, part of 2 championship teams, 1948 and 49.
It's unbelievably impressive when you think about some of the guys in the Bucko Kilroy era. I mean, he's an All-American at Temple. Then in 42 and 43, he serves in the Merchant Marines during World War II. Then he goes on to become an Eagles Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't know what we are, Scott, but those guys were men. I mean, that back in the day, like my grandpa, my pop-pop, those were real men. I don't know what we are, but we're not like those guys.
No, we're not. That Merchant Marine time was the only time he spent out of Philly. He grew up here, went to Temple, played his professional football in Philly. Philly guy.
Did they used to try to do that, I wonder?
I don't know.
You know, with the NFL franchises, keep as many local guys as they could. Makes sense, right?
Sure does. Hopkins kicking it away. And an opportunity for a return. Montrell Johnson coming near side. And he's going to make it out near the 30-yard line as he is shoved out of bounds by a bunch of brown jerseys. They're going to mark him right at the 30 after a 26-yard return. Well, former Cleveland Browns getting a start today here against his former team. He started 5 NFL games. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, 2 of those starts came last year when he threw for 440 yards. His problem last year was the interceptions. He threw 6 of them in limited action.
Scott, I got out here like 9:15. He was on the field at 9:15 with quarterback coach Scott Loeffler going over this opening script. I mean, he is ready.
And handed it off to A.J. Dillon, who gets the start for pickup of 3 just across the 33-yard line. And you're going to see some not quite as familiar names across that offensive line today. Drew
Well, and they all matter because all of these guys are battling to be the next man up, whether it's at center or guard or tackle. But really going to especially keep our eye on Brett Toth, who's getting the first chance to start at left guard, the Army veteran.
On second down, back to Dillon, who uses those strong legs to pick up maybe a couple out across the 35. Third down coming up.
Let's take a look at Toth on that play. He's right there in the middle, 64. It's an initial double team. I think that they were working up to the linebacker, 40, Harrison. Instead, Hickman, the safety, came flying through, but that really wasn't Toth's responsibility. That's an interesting one.
Nia Smith and Johnny Wilson to the left of Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Cooper near side on third down. Quick throw right there. Delivered on time for first down yardage. That was a simple one for Ania Smith on a quick look in.
Good preseason for Ania Smith. He's going to go a little in-breaking route. Johnny Wilson inside the slot does the same thing. I kind of like right there that they had Wilson, the big guy, inside. And then watch Toth pass off the stunt there with Kendall Lamb. What makes Toth so unique is he's gotten time, whether it's practice or preseason games, at all 5 spots. Not many guys can do that.
Back to the ground, and Dillon doing what he does. Hard yardage. You got a couple there. If you weren't with us last week, we talked to him after he missed the entire of the 2024 season with a neck injury. Was concerned perhaps, at least briefly, that his career might be over.
Don't you kind of get the feeling, Scott, that there's going to be a game this year where Dillon's a major positive factor for the Eagles, and people around the league are going to say, how did they get A.J. Dillon for the minimum? Like, how did the Eagles get A.J. Dillon?
There's no doubt he is a complete football player. Certainly has something to add for this team. Thompson-Robinson gets the ball batted in the air. It's still in the air. Wait, it's caught. How about that? All right, that is one of those rarities you don't see every day, which is a completed pass for a loss of 12.
Well, and it's your instinct as a skill guy, right? It's your instinct. You'll see pressure off both edges here. I would like to have seen DTR step up in the pocket a little bit more than this. Maybe he didn't feel like he could. He actually does a good job getting rid of it. The O-linemen have the right idea to try to bat it down, but Pryor actually bats it to Dillon. It's a bad bat by Pryor and a horrible catch by Dillon to lose a ton of yardage. You just don't see that very often.
No, you don't. You also don't see 3rd and 22 very often, and that's what the Eagles are facing right here. Try to see if they can get some of it back, but Thompson-Robinson is hit as he throws. And it's going to bring the punting unit on. Shelby Harris providing the pressure.
Ugly last few plays there for the Eagles, right? They got the first down on the in-cut by Ania Smith, but then not much from A.J. Dillon. Then you had the really random second down play that put him in a spot on 3rd down where it was highly unlikely for them to have success.
Well, Braden Mann punts it away. Gage Larvidan standing back at his own 15-yard line. A high twisting kick. Larvidan times it up. Makes a couple of men miss. And he'll get it out across the 27-yard line, a 6-yard return. 3 and change left to go here in the first quarter, and a 6-point lead for the Browns.
Should have used tick pick.
And then coverage. He's away from the ball here, but he undercuts this route. And then the ball skills to be able to make that interception against Georgia. He's got all kinds of plays like that on his video from Texas at safety last year. Before that, he actually played nickelback for Clemson. So he has that kind of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson versatility that you're looking for at the safety position.
Roz's tape breakdowns presented by Wawa. Wawa, official hoagie of the Philadelphia Eagles. Omakubu, who was born in Zimbabwe, came to the United States at age 9. Now Jacorian Bennett is also on the field.
Love it. Let's see what both these guys have. They're absolutely battling for starting jobs on this team.
First down from the 28. Gabriel all day to throw the ball. And that was his first incomplete pass of the day. He had hit on his first 4. That's good coverage downfield for the Eagles secondary.
Let's watch Jacorian Bennett, bottom right of your screen. He's man-to-man against Deontay Johnson. He's running with him. He runs a 4. Oh, man, he's right on him. Incidental contact. There's nothing wrong with that. Gabriel had nowhere to go. That's nice coverage there by Jacorian Bennett. He goes by JB, ran a 4.30 at the combine, almost broke 4.3, so he's not worried about people running past him.
On second down, Gabriel coming back near side, and he got a flag on the play. I think that one is going to go against Deontay Johnson. I think he might have pushed off, or there might have been an illegal eligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, there was multiple illegal men downfield. That was an RPO, and Gabriel waited way too long to throw it. Take a look at these interior offensive linemen and watch how far down the field they are by the time he actually throws, in particular the center.
Out of the picture. Clete Blakeman, today's referee, finding out what the Eagles want to do with that penalty.
Ineligible man downfield, offense number 56. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Luke Weitler called for the penalty.
So what's interesting there is the rule's a little different in college than it is in the NFL. College, you get 3 yards, Scott. In the NFL, you get 1.5 yards. So someone needs to tell Gabriel he needs to get rid of the ball faster than that.
Second down and long following the penalty, and Gabriel firing into a tight window. Got it in there. And a catch made once again by Thrash for a pickup of 11.
That's the second time that Brandon Johnson, this undrafted rookie, has had good coverage, but he's not making the play on the ball. Watch 35 Johnson. He's with them. Man, that's a nice job breaking down. He's just got to make the play. You got to rip it out of there. You know, making that play or not could be the difference between being on the practice squad or not. He's got a chance. He's just got to finish.
Third down. They've got to make it out to the 38. Gabriel firing again, and he has been, if nothing else, accurate. And Jamari Thrash has been his favorite guy here in this first quarter. That's good for another first down.
Once again, you'll see left of your screen, it's man-to-man Brandon Johnson. He's working against Thrash. It's not bad coverage, but that is such a hard job, that nickel corner. That's, by the way, why Cooper DeJean plays that spot. The guy has a two-way go. You can't really use the sideline. You don't have a lot of help. You're involved in the running game. One of the hardest positions in pro football.
Play action on first down. Gabriel throwing again and finding another open receiver. This time Cedric Tillman, one of the few NFL experienced receivers that they've got on the roster. That's good for a 14-yard pickup and another Cleveland first down.
Kind of like last week, there's not nearly enough pressure from this Eagles backup defensive line. And let's watch Tillman. He's going to get to the safety and then break out. Makuba's on him. A little bit of a push-off that Tillman gets away with that one-arm stab, but if they don't call it, it's not a penalty, and maybe a lesson learned there for Makuba in terms of the physicality that they will allow. As you can see, Gabriel again with that clean pocket.
Back to the ground, and Pierre Strong is bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Ball's ahead for a gain of a little bit better than a yard. As time winds down here in this first quarter. Tell you what, it's got to be a hot one out there.
Well, I'm hot up here. And it's days like this that I look down there and think, how did I weigh 320 pounds with helmet, shoulder pads, and all that stuff and run into other 320-pound guys? That does not sound like fun right now when it's this hot.
On second down, just outside the 40. They pick up the blitz, find the open man. They've got a fair amount of that here early, and yards after the catch, falling ahead was Caden Davis. That's going to be another Cleveland first down after a pickup of 9.
Right now, let's be honest, Dylan Gabriel is picking apart this Eagles defense.
He's had plenty of time to throw, and he has made the most of it. One touchdown drive, Cleveland trying for another as we go to the second quarter. Browns on top by a score of 6-0. Visit Prizeo.com/EaglesRing or scan the QR code to enter for a chance to win an authentic Philadelphia Eagles World Championship ring and 50-yard line tickets to the Eagles game against the Bears on November 28th. See official rules. Sweepstakes ending October 12th. No purchase necessary. I asked again this week, Ross. I still don't have clarification about whether or not we're eligible to enter.
I'm pretty sure in the fine print it says that we are in fact not. Let's see if this Eagles group, they're counting on a bunch of these guys to play a lot of snaps for them this year. Let's see some of them step up and make some plays out here.
Gabriel has been very good so far. And this one is picked off and going back the other way. Now it's a foot race, and that is that. Welcome to the Philadelphia Eagles, Andrew Mukuba. A pick six the other way on the first play of the second quarter. How about that?
What did Nick Sirianni tell us yesterday, Scott? And again, when I interviewed him on the pregame show, the ball just finds Drew Mukuba. You'll see the crossing route by Diontae Johnson. Mukuba undercuts it, pushes him. He gets in between the two guys, and it looks like the ball is thrown right to him, and he knows exactly what to do when the ball is in his hands. I've seen it for as long as I've been watching football. There are certain guys that somehow, some way, the ball finds them, they make plays in the football. Drew Mukuba is that kind of player.
75 yards on the pick six, and the extra point puts the Eagles in front one play into the second quarter. How's that got to feel on your first day in front of the home fans here at the Link?
Let's take a look at the all-22 of that pick six by the rookie for the Eagles, Drew Mukuba. Okay, he sees the route combination. He doesn't need to worry about the deep post. He sees the crossing route by Johnson. Gabriel kind of throws it in between those two guys. Neither Brown knows which way he's throwing it. He threw it too short for Johnson. He threw it ahead of the tight end. He threw it right to Mukuba, and it's a big play for the Birds.
So right back out on special teams. And Caden Davis trying to keep that kickoff alive out across the 30. 27-yard return to the 33. We got a flag on the play. Tell you what, communication's not that quick today amongst the officials.
During the return, holding return team number 17. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
So that's going to back the Browns up.
He was in the perfect position, right? I mean, let's be honest, Gabriel kind of threw it right to him, and Whiteheart thought Gabriel was throwing it to Diontae Johnson, but you still have to make the play. This is the first time this young man is wearing an NFL uniform, and to have a pick six like that, he missed a bunch of time with a shoulder injury. You wonder if maybe he missed too much time to really battle Sidney Brown for that starting safety spot, but a pick six will certainly get you in the running.
Today's Eagles player stats presented by Jefferson Health. Jefferson Health, official hospital of the Philadelphia Eagles. And Gabriel, who had been on the mark in the first quarter, struggling on his first play here, immediately following the interception.
The other thing, Scott, I'm just thinking about, there is no way that Blake Whiteheart, the tight end, and Diontae Johnson, the receiver, should have been that close to each other. There is no way that's what they're supposed to be doing, and that's one of the reasons why you don't want that, right? If you don't have good spacing with your route combinations, then one guy, in this case Mukuba, can effectively cover both, which is exactly what he did.
So the bigger question there is, should the rookie quarterback, seeing that there, just eat that ball or throw it away?
He shouldn't throw it to the guy in the white jersey in the middle, right? Although, don't they say it, you see three, hit the guy in the middle or throw it to the guy in the middle? That doesn't work if the guy in the middle has a different colored jersey.
Sometimes they don't necessarily know what they're talking about.
That's right. Who is they? All right, 3rd and 2. Let's see if the Eagles can get off the field. The Browns have been driving the ball on them pretty easily here. They're 4 for 4 on third down so far in this game.
Bunched receivers. Now the man in motion is Davis on third down. Gabriel with time again finds his man coming across, and Thresh has first down and more all the way up to the midfield stripe as he makes it out to the 50-yard line for a 19-yard pickup and another converted third down for the Browns.
Thrash is killing the Eagles right now. I mean, Jamari Thrash, let's watch him on this one. Thrash, I think he's on the other side actually, fellas. You can't see him there, but he's gonna come across from the other side.
There he is.
And there he goes. It looks like Ringo kind of got picked, and that Ringo was in coverage there.
By the way, surprisingly, a Thrash wearing 80, no relation. We checked on that.
You checked on that.
Well, Merrill Reese asked me the question at the joint practice the other day. A couple of yards on first down, right through the middle for Pierre Strong. That's going to be a gain of about 4 yards.
Again, you look out there, and there's a distinct possibility that Ojulari is the third edge guy. Ty Robinson might be the fourth interior lineman. Trotter has a chance to start next to Zach Bond. These are not guys that are going to be on the practice squad or guys that are going to get cut, you wouldn't think. These are guys that should, or at least have a strong opportunity to play a big role for the Eagles this year.
Game was more like 3, 2nd and 7. He goes to the correct side with the blitz coming. And a modest gain for, once again, Jamari Thrash. Sidney Brown and Keely Ringo stepping in to help make that tackle. And we got a flag on the far side.
Offside. Defense, number 49. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Wow.
You don't see that very often on a corner.
Nope.
Jacorian Bennett, the former starter for the Raiders, started 7 games last year, played well in those games, by the way. Top 10 in a lot of statistics for cornerbacks with over 450 snaps. That was a nice play, though, by Sidney Brown.
Bennett's biggest problem was an ongoing shoulder problem that had really gone on over a number of seasons. Finally got that taken care of, and now he feels better than 100%. Gabriel throwing. That's a nice play, trailing by the guy we're just talking about. Jacorian Bennett closed quickly on that ball and breaks it up.
He's good, Scott. I'm telling you, the guy's good. I called 2 Raiders games last year for CBS. Watch Bennett read the route and then react to it. Playing off coverage, but he knows he can make it up with that speed. Undercuts it, the closest hand, no contact. That is beautiful. That's exactly how you draw it up, and that's why Howie Roseman traded for him.
So it's 3rd down and 2. Cleveland has converted all 5 of their third downs here in the first half. Another blitz coming. They run through the middle. Make them 6 for 6. Going to be down inside the 30-yard line all the way to the 28. 14 yards on the play.
Kind of the perfect play call with what the Eagles are doing, right? You'll see a blitz by Trotter, and they're kind of running a draw. Takes himself right out of it. Smile Munden gets eaten up as well, and if both of your linebackers are getting blocked like that, you're going to have a tough time stopping the run up the middle.
Cleveland has moved the ball 153 total yards so far here in this first half. And Gabriel, a little swing route out of the backfield. And Amani Marshall gets shoved out of bounds by Jeremiah Trotter Jr. after a 5-yard pickup.
You know, you ever hear the expression, Scott, stats are for losers?
Yes.
This game's a pretty good example of that right now. The Browns have 158 total yards. The Eagles have 3. The Eagles are winning the game right now. So if you're the Browns, certainly you should feel good about the way you're moving the ball. But the only people that really talk about the stats after a game is the team that lose. The team that wins just talk about winning.
That's very profound.
Thank you.
On 2nd down, Strong trying the left side, and he runs into a wall of white jerseys after a pickup of maybe 2. There'll be another 3rd down coming now for Cleveland.
Okay, this is what we need to see, Scott, all right? Ty Robinson, 4th round pick, Nebraska, right at the point of attack. Watch him, hands inside, lock him out, shed him, make the play. That's what I'm talking about. Going against Cornelius Lucas, who's played a lot of ball in this league. That is perfect technique from Robinson. That's what the Eagles need. They need a 4th D lineman inside that can give them quality snaps like that.
3rd down, they've got to get it to the 18-yard line. Gabriel doesn't see it coming. And on the outside, Ojulari got home and comes up with a big sack to turn Cleveland away on 3rd down.
Back-to-back plays. Watch Ojulari. This is what he did for the Giants. Watch his hands here against Lucas. He stabs and pulls. It's a one-arm stab, and then you pull. That is beautiful technique, and Ojulari did that early and often in his Giants career. Listen, if you have 5 sacks 3 of your 4 years, that's a really quality number for a 3rd edge rusher for a team. The Eagles would love to have their 3rd guy have more than 5 sacks this year.
Dustin Hopkins from 46. It's Faden. It just got inside that upright, and that'll put the Browns back in front. Big defensive play, though, held them to a field goal attempt. Here in the 2nd quarter, it's a 2-point game. Featuring a storyline to watch. Go to NBC10.com to check out exclusive content. This week, we highlight South Jersey natives Jahad Campbell and Kyle McCord's journey into the NFL for their hometown Eagles. Always kind of a heartwarming story when the hometown kid gets an opportunity to play for his favorite team growing up.
It's so cool. I can't even imagine how amazing that is for them. I know it was really awkward to play against the Eagles a number of times in my career.
Montrell Johnson from his own 8-yard line on the kickoff. And he gets it out across the 25. And a big-time hit on the other side. Let's get you down to Dave Spadaro.
All right, guys. A year ago at this time, you probably wouldn't recognize the man standing next to me. Now, of course, we know it's linebacker Zack Baun. What a difference a year makes, Zach. I know how happy you are to be a Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. Like, this is awesome. No better place to be. The fans, the culture here, the people, the staff. I could go on for days. It's just amazing.
All right, so how did it happen? How did you go from somebody that not a lot of fans really knew, to a finalist for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year and an All-Pro player and a Super Bowl champion?
Yeah, it's honestly a great story, and I think it just comes down to belief. Belief in yourself and other people believing in you. I mean, the coaches here, my teammates, Nakobe Dean, has really been there to help me along this journey.
And when you get a chance, you take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You just got to keep yourself ready and keep yourself in the game, and when that opportunity comes, you got to take full advantage.
Zach, you could have gone to free agency. Instead, you stayed with the Eagles' long-term contract here. How's that feel?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. This is home now, comfortable. The teammates, the fans, it's no better place.
Why is Vic Fangio so great as a defensive coordinator?
I think there's a lot of scheme aspects. Runs a very good scheme, and then he holds guys accountable. I think that's a big part of it. He wants the best out of all of his players and truly cares about us as people too.
What are you thinking here? I know it's early. We've got a couple weeks to go before the Cowboys come to town. Feelings on what this defense might be in 2025?
Yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, a lot of new faces here. With the introduction of free agency and the rookie class, I think we're looking really good.
Speaking of looking really good here, Nakobe is in a trance, drinking, having some fun. Is he always the goofball in the room?
Yeah, he's definitely the goofball. Always drinking Gatorade and staying hydrated.
Well, that's a good thing, Nakobe. Thanks very much. He just threw you some love. Zack Baun, thank you so much. Have a great year.
Threw some love. Check the sponsorship box.
I think Nakobe was trying to go viral, like Landon Dickerson did last week with the Uncrustables. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean,
trying to do it 2 at a time.
Yeah, trying to do 2 at a time.
You missed your close-up, Nakobe. By the way, I talked with Zack Baun 3 times last year on Westwood One, including at the Super Bowl. Easy guy to root for. As Dorian Thompson-Robinson gets thrown for a loss, that'll bring on the punting unit. The night I talked to him at the Super Bowl, I have never seen one person happier 6 days before a game was about to be played The smile lit up the room. It almost stopped him from talking. That's how big the smile was for the entire time we sat together.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do what he did, you know, to essentially switch positions, and then all of a sudden, your first team All-Pro. I mean, who does that? The NFL is hard enough as it is, but to switch positions and have that much success right away is just mind-boggling.
Remember last summer, Vic Fangio telling us that instinct was a really big part of being able to play that position. Zach Baun clearly had those instincts and relied on them last year for a special season. Browns are going to get it back. Larvadad with the return of 6 yards after a punt of 34. Join the squad. Become a AAA Eagles MVP member today at AAA.com/Eagles. Any port in a storm, it is a steamy day here in Philadelphia. The Browns have outgained the Eagles 153-7. We've only got a 2-point game here, thanks to Andrew Makuba's 75-yard pick six. Corian Bennett also out there right now, trying to stake his claim to a potential starting spot. Browns take over at their own 31-yard line. Gabriel remains in the game, and that ball hit the deck. Ball's on the ground. Eagles got it. I believe the Eagles recovered.
Oh my gosh, look who it is.
Look who it is. He finds the ball. Drew Makuba once again.
You can't make this up if you tried. They're running a wham play. It's a fumbled exchange, and the safety gets the ball.
Ball finds him.
Makuba's not even on the screen yet, I don't think. Okay, there he's in front. The ball goes down, squirts around right to Makuba. Listen, I don't care what you want to call it. Good fortune, luck, instincts. Get the guy on the field if he's going to keep taking the ball away. These guys got 2 turnovers in like 8 snaps.
I'll tell you what, that's going to make a young man feel very, very good about how things have gone here in his first real time. Kyle McCord now coming onto the field. And into the huddle.
That's interesting. It makes you wonder, does McCord play the rest of the game, or do they maybe come back out in the second half and give DTR some snaps? Obviously, they're trying to see what these 2 guys can do with the number 3 quarterback job. We know what Tanner McKee can do. We saw that last week, and now they want to find out what these other guys can do.
Well, that becomes a very important spot. Moving ahead, clearly Tanner McKee has separated himself from everybody else, and he is the backup quarterback to Jalen Hurts. So McCord, after you saw the numbers, huge year at Syracuse last year. Got a flag down on the play as Montrell Johnson bangs it down inside the 25. That's going to be an 8-yard pickup if it stands.
Offside, defense, number 99 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Now they'll take the 5 and the down. Cameron Thomas is called for being offside.
McCord did a lot of winning in college. Only lost 1 game as a starter at Ohio State, and then goes to Syracuse, and that was the best season for the Orangemen in quite some time.
Back to the ground again, and room to run for first down yardage down into the red zone. Johnson showed good patience coming to the near side.
He really did, because I wouldn't say that it was exquisitely blocked, right? I mean, there's a couple guys that ran some interference on him. Kennard, the right guard, as well as Muse, the tight end. Not great blocks, but enough that Johnson was able to get the edge, make a guy miss, and get a good first down there.
That's a 6-yard pickup. The ball sitting at the 20-yard line now after the turnover. Back to Johnson again. And he'll get 3, maybe 4 yards down near the 16 before Jawad Briggs brings him down.
Second play in a row where they've had Van Sumeren out there, the linebacker turned fullback. Watch him cut off the backside here. This is split zone. Everybody's zoned into the right, and then Van Sumeren at fullback comes back and cuts the backside. Actually, Johnson might have been able to get even more yards if he had cut that back behind where Van Sumeren had the knockdown.
Right back to the ground again, and it's working. Maybe about a yard shy or less of a first down for Johnson running off the right side.
Johnson didn't get a chance to play last week because he was battling an injury, just kind of working his way back this week. So it was guys like Keelan Robinson and Shunderick Powell that were getting those extra reps with the backups at running back. Now Johnson's getting his chance. They're coming with the tush push.
Here we go.
The McCord tush push.
Crowd loves it. And nobody does it better than the Birds. From where they're running, he's got it.
92% of the time, it works every time. Look at McCord here. That's a really nice job by the guys up front. I mean, that's the thing. You see the pushes right there? The pushes did nothing on that play. Granson and Johnson, they did nothing. He had the first down with the offensive line push, the surge up front.
The second successful tush push of the preseason. Neither run by Jalen Hurts. Gets you to a 1st and goal now, just inside the 10-yard line. Ooh. That hole closed up quickly, if it was ever there. That was Keelan Robinson. Nowhere to go, probably lost a yard.
Man, that was a nice play by Mascarenas Arnold, the linebacker for the Browns. That's how you have to play football.
Long talk with Nick Sirianni yesterday before the Eagles walkthrough. Talk a little bit about that during the course of this game in the second half.
Bunch set to the bottom there. Now Smith goes in motion.
First pass attempt from McCord. There it is, and it's caught. That's going to be inside the 5-yard line. Making a pickup of about 6 yards. Kind of a spinning catch by Terrace Marshall.
So that's why you bring Ainias Smith in motion. You'll see Marshall, okay, but it'll open up because Smith goes outside. So the corner has to cover Smith, and then McCord can fit it inside. I would like to see McCord throw that ball a little bit more to the outside to give Marshall a chance to make a play with it, but it at least gives him a chance here on 3rd down after the 2-minute warning.
Marshall was a member of the Raiders last year, played in 7 games. Trying to put his name in the mix for the wide receiver room when camp is finally done. 2-minute warning now here in Philadelphia with the Eagles down 2. Donating 30 trees for each successful field goal. Visit PhiladelphiaEagles.com/West to learn more. What a day for Drew Makuba.
What a half. I mean, who knows how much he'll play in the second half and how many more plays he'll make, but he already has the fantastic pick 6. And then, you know, credit him, by the way, as a safety for being that close to the line of scrimmage, where if there was a fumble, he was close enough to make the play. It's an unbelievable debut for Drew, that young man, Drew Makuba, and that has led the Eagles to this opportunity to take the lead again here down in Browns territory.
Well, they've got that shot now on 3rd and goal coming up with Kyle McCord working his first series. Your offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo.
I do not see Johnny Wilson in the game. I do see Ainias Smith is out there, as well as Terrace Marshall, but you know, in a situation like this, you would think if Johnny Wilson was playing, maybe it's a fade ball to him, but he's not out there. They do have Darius Cooper at the bottom of the screen, who had a big game last week.
3rd down and goal. And he got motion. That's going to back him up.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
Matt Pryor, the veteran, moved early.
Situation as the clock was dead.
I saw him do that at least once in the joint practice on Wednesday. Nick Sirianni writing that down. He's frustrated. Nothing gets coaches more upset than the pre-snap penalties. Pryor knows that he's been around a long time, but you know, Pryor's probably the next man up at a couple of spots. They need to be able to count on him.
That changes the play selection, I'm sure, but a little more room to operate. And there it is for the touchdown. Quick look in. Ainias Smith puts the Eagles in front with a flag on the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, defense number 99. Penalty being forced on the point after for touchdown. And the touchdown is good.
Second week in a row, a touchdown by Ainias Smith on an in-breaking route. Watch him here. It's man-to-man, and he's just going to get across the face, right? He sees it, outside leverage. That's like stealing. I mean, that's way too easy. If the corner's playing outside leverage and has no help inside, good luck, and that's absolutely a roughing the passer. I love McCord pointing up to the sky after he gets drilled by Cameron Thomas. As the Eagles go for two, I love it.
Two-point conversion attempt will be no good.
And that's why they should have kicked the extra point. Listen, Kyle McCord knew he was about to get drilled, and he delivered it anyway. Ainias Smith, 2 for 2 with the preseason touchdowns.
Because it started with the turnover. Drew Makuba, his second of the first half. That gave him the short field, and it took him 7 plays for Kyle McCord to find the end zone and put the Eagles back in front.
Boy, that has to feel good for Kyle McCord. Did not get off to a great start last Thursday night against the Bengals, but to come in here with his first series and get a touchdown pass is awesome.
Wow. Travion Williams making like a pinball as he gets it out across the 35-yard line to the 38. Hey kids, ever dreamed of asking Jalen Hurts a question? Well, here's your chance to interview the Eagles starting quarterback. Join the Eagles Kids Club today for an exclusive invite to the Kids Club press conference with Jalen Hurts on August 26th. Head over to PhiladelphiaEagles.com/kidsclub to learn more and to sign up now.
I'm guessing we're definitely not eligible for that one.
We are not.
Is there a cutoff age?
I don't know. Is there a cutoff emotional age?
There you go, Perry.
Swing out of the backfield and absolutely nowhere to go. Perry Nickerson holding his spot. It's going to be a 6-yard loss on a completed pass.
I like when guys make good plays like that. The Browns are going with the hurry up here in the 2-minute. You'll see real quick left side, Perry Nickerson able to beat the block and gets in on the play. And that guy's 30 years old playing pro football. That's how you know he's been around for a while.
Oh my. That's an open spot in the middle of the field and a lot of room to run. Big time hit at the end. But Caden Davis with a big play. We got an Eagle slow to get up. And it is Jacorian Bennett.
Boy, you hate to see that with his shoulder history, including a surgery this offseason. Was starting for the Raiders before that shoulder surgery. Let's see what happens. Oh, he threw his left arm in there to try to punch the ball out. That's how the Eagles teach it, right? Try to punch the ball out. Watch him try with that left arm to punch it out.
Well, he had the force of 2 players running directly at him. That's like trying to punch a wall.
Ooh.
And McCollum was right there along with Caden Davis.
That could end up being a very important player for the Philadelphia Eagles, depending on how these things sort out.
Well, Bennett comes off. Just so excited to be here. He said he watched his reps kind of diminish over the course of this summer with the Raiders and kind of knew something was coming, but couldn't believe his fortune when he realized he was going to be joining the Philadelphia Eagles. Now he takes his spot.
Every guy, Scott. I was going to say, it feels like every guy we talk to, you know, that's new here, talks about the vibe and the culture. A.J. Dillon last week, JB yesterday. It is different in Philly, at least according to the guys that have played for other teams before coming here.
Nick Sirianni's been saying that since his first day as head coach. That's exactly what they're trying to do. That's how the engine continues to move forward, Ross. And it'll take you back about 4 years as they take a look at Bennett on the sideline. Remember Nick Sirianni and the Flower news conference?
Yes.
Oh, for all of those who were busy laughing about the roots that were being planted and everything else, how does that look now?
Looks pretty darn good. I mean, all he does is win.
Second down from the 38. Gabriel all day to throw, no one to throw it to, and finally throws it away. And now you're going to get contact downfield, and I think that's going to be against Cleveland.
Well, he was outside the pocket, so it can't be illegal contact anymore.
I'll ask Nick Sirianni what he wants to do.
Pass interference, offense number 80. The 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
That's an interesting decision whether or not you take the penalty or not. I think it's the right decision because you want to try. Let's watch Nickerson on this play. You can't see there because it was the underneath route. It's good coverage, by the way, by Mac McWilliams on Deontay Johnson. I like the decision to push him back because if you're the Eagles, you're trying to get him out of field goal range.
That's where they are right now. Gabriel throwing down the middle again, and that is the definition of upended. Brendan Bates makes the catch, and he's down to the 35-yard line as he gets turned upside down by McCollum.
3rd and 7 could easily be 4-down territory right now for the Browns, who just subbed in a new tight end, Whiteheart, because Bates got smashed.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage, and Gabriel throwing short of first down yardage. That's down to the 31-yard line. They're certainly within field goal range right now. Campbell making the tackle.
Neither team calling timeout here, which would lead you to believe that the Browns are going to let it go all the way down and then attempt a field goal. If they were going to go for it, they would have used a timeout right away. Instead, they're going to let this thing go to the end and take a timeout.
And there is your timeout with 2 seconds to go. Stay tuned at halftime, by the way. We'll have a special look at training camp as Eagles Entertainment mic'd up Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown and second-year cornerback Quinyon Mitchell. That's coming up at halftime, which is moments from now, following a field goal attempt. Now, the Browns do have 2 kickers in camp. This is going to be Andre Schmidt. He's going to be attempting a 49-yarder. Already had one bad snap that blew up an extra point earlier.
Sirianni just called a field goal, a timeout to ice the kicker.
Ice him. He's smiling across the field at Kevin Stefanski.
Hey, he's trying to do it the way he wanted to. Stefanski's shaking his head. Can't believe it. Pointing at him.
Stefanski, a Philly guy.
That is great. That's awesome camera work by our guys, getting the facial reactions from both of them. Listen, the Browns want to see what this young kicker can do. Sirianni's trying to
just helping him.
Yeah, he's trying to help him out. He's Syracuse, first-year guy. This is what it would be like in a regular game. Let's see how you do, Andre.
49-yarder. Lots of leg. And it's perfect on the final play of the first half. And they leave with a smile after one half of football here in Philadelphia. Kind of a wild first half. The Eagles go to the locker room with a 1-point lead. Take it down now to Dave Spadaro.
Nick, you said that the ball finds Drew Makuba, and they're in his first preseason action. 2 takeaways.
Yeah. That's what we saw on tape coming out of college. That's what he's done in camp so far. He's just got it on his mind, and you know, even though he's a fumble recovery there at the right time, that just happens sometimes. The guys that have that feel.
And then how encouraging to see Kyle finish off the drive, put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, you always want to finish a turnover for a touchdown, not a field goal. So big time play by him and Ainias on the 3rd down. Great protection right there. But we also want to make sure we're in 3rd and 4, not 3rd and 9. We had that penalty right before that.
Coach, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Well, you take a look back at what happened in that first half, and it was the youngsters who certainly were getting a lot of the headlines in that half and some impact plays.
Right, it wasn't a great first quarter for the Eagles, but the young rookies are the ones that really stepped up. And it started with Jihad Campbell, the first-round pick, had a sack early. That was one of the few first-quarter bright spots. But then Andrew Makuba in the second quarter. First, he had the pick 6, which was just a fantastic play. Then he was right where he needed to be. Sirianni just mentioned that on the fumble. And then how about Kyle McCord throwing a touchdown pass? I love what I saw from Kyle McCord in his only drive. Had a couple nice completions.
So you take a look at those numbers, the draft picks today. Campbell with that early sack. Told you about what Drew Makuba has done, and Kyle McCord, first time he got an opportunity, was 2 for 2, got his team into the end zone. So now you've got a second half of football to go, and this is that period of time where you're talking about a lot of guys who are fighting for positions, fighting for jobs, fighting for starting spots. And there's a touchback, and what that means now is the Eagles are going to get the ball at the 35-yard line. That is what is new this year with the dynamic kickoff rule, Ross, and that's going to change things.
It's going to change things a lot because I don't expect there to be a lot of touchbacks in the regular season. Teams are not going to concede the 35-yard line. Instead, I think you're going to see a lot more kick returns, which means you're probably going to see more guys make the roster based on special teams if there's going to be 5 to 8 more kick returns per game.
So the Eagles begin it at the 35. And already you got a pre-snap penalty.
Ball start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that is on Drew Kendall.
Well, and guess what happened, Scott? I hinted about this before the game. That's the first snap for Drew Kendall at left guard since high school in a game. So at Boston College, he was an all-AC center. Obviously, with the Eagles last week in the preseason and so far this week in the preseason, he's only been a center, but they're going to give him some reps, some time here to show what he can do at left guard. Remember, Landon Dickerson had surgery earlier this week.
That's thrown right to where it's supposed to go. Terrace Marshall with a catch out near the 39-yard line, a 9-yard pickup on first down.
Kendall's had a really good camp at center. I think the Eagles are happy with him. I know watching him, I've been impressed with what he's done so far. He talked to us yesterday about the help that he's gotten from Jason Kelsey in terms of watching film and giving him some tips. But this is a totally different animal playing guard. But if you're going to be a backup in the NFL, you have to show that you can play more than one spot.
That's exactly what Nick Sirianni was talking about, too, that versatility of the depth they have along the offensive line. It's the ability for guys to be able to slide to either side, left or right, or in some cases to be able to play inside and outside.
And think about what Sirianni just said to Dave Spadaro in the halftime interview. He referenced the Matt Pryor false start, wasn't happy about it. The Eagles would already have a first down here if it wasn't for the Kendall false start, but it's a little bit different when you're at guard as opposed to center and you got the ball in your hands.
So it's 3rd down and 2 now. McCord, a little bit of time, now chased out of the pocket. Kind of a desperate throw and really couldn't get any kind of accuracy on it as he floats it over the head of Marshall. That'll bring on the punting unit.
So McCord is not a great athlete. He has to specialize in pocket movement. Not a big fan of this right here. This was well protected, right? The strength of the pocket is if you step up. McCord kind of got happy feet, tried to run away. He's not going to be able to run away from people in this league. All he needed to do there was step up and deliver the football. He is a pure pocket passer, and that was a nice pocket by the offensive line.
Braden Mann punting it away. We got a whistle before the play, though. It's blown dead, and that's going to be another penalty on the Eagles.
False start. Offense number 43. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Ben Van Sumeren called for the false start on special teams.
What has Van Sumeren done in his career that very, very few guys have ever done, Scott? Trivia question. Do you know the answer? I'm asking you.
I know, and I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes people think about it.
He's gotten snaps on both sides of the ball in regular season games. He's gotten linebacker snaps and fullback snaps. Not many guys have ever played on both sides of the ball at the NFL level.
True enough. I hear one of the Browns quarterbacks' dad did. Early moments, 3rd quarter. Browns get it back when we come back. Preseason game number 2. Kelee Ringo getting some time as he tries to win a spot. And really, when you take a look at it, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are the guys that you would expect are going to be playing in those spots, but there's a lot of players that are still vying for positions on this team.
Right, and of course, it looks like, based on practice, Cooper DeJean in base will start out at safety and then be the nickel corner. So Ringo still getting time. Adoree Jackson was out there, and then Ringo came out there for him. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is still out there. So some of these guys that they really want to see a lot of reps of, Ojulari, are still out there on the field here in the second half.
Browns have a new quarterback in the game. A lot of folks will recognize Tyler Huntley, now in his 6th year in the league.
So, Scott, I just mentioned Jeremiah Trotter Jr. still out there. Let's watch him. He's man-to-man, I believe, on the running back there, Pierre Strong. He reads it, gets out there. I like how he settles his feet and still makes the tackle, right? One of the concerns with Trotter Jr. is that maybe he's not an elite athlete, and so the concern you get is coverage. The concern you get is playing in space. That was really well done by the 2nd-year man from Clemson right there.
On 2nd down, Strong to the left side. He is ripped down to the ground by Munden. Smile Munden making the tackle. Down on the field now, we are joined by Eagles center Cam Jurgens. Cam, how are you?
Doing good. How are you guys doing up there?
We're doing great.
We're doing fantastic, Cam. Obviously, it looks like you've had a good camp so far after that back surgery after the Super Bowl. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. You know, when camp gets started, it's just every single day feels like a week. Every week feels like a month. And you're just worried about what you're doing today and how you can get better and get ready for tomorrow. And we're still in the thick of it. And, you know, the team's getting better every day.
Back-to-back awesome plays, by the way, by Smile Munden is great to see. Cam, one of your buddies, Landon Dickerson, got hurt a week ago. He had surgery earlier this week. What can you tell us about Brett Toth and some of the other guys that have been filling in there at left guard?
I think it's just the mentality of that room, especially Brett and a lot of the guys that come in. You know, it's always next man up, and the mentality of putting in the work and making sure everybody that's not starting is preparing like they are a starter. And, you know, and when you do like that, people get in the game and they don't blink. You know, you got to go out there and perform.
So Drew Kendall is out there right now at left guard. You're a guy that's played both. What's that like, having to switch mid-game like Drew Kendall's doing?
You know, Drew's able to do that. He's so smart. You know, Brett playing 3 ways. Drew's being able to go out there at center and guard. And as long as you know what's going on, you know the scheme, and you know everybody's spots, you know, you can fill in and get out there and do it. You know, you got to have the mentality shift and be able to go out there and perform at different spots. But just getting comfortable, that's all it is. And, you know, he's out there trying it and getting comfortable out there now. So I'm excited for him.
Cam, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Timeout on the field. We now have our answer about how the quarterback rotation is going to work. Eagles' first shot at it here in the second half, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson now on at quarterback. After playing early in the first half, a little bit of a juggle right there. And wow, that is a gift of an interception. And it may be going back all the way. KJ Henry into the end zone for a touchdown. Couldn't have gift wrapped it more closely right into Henry's hands as DTR was taking a hit. 45 yards on the pick six.
A whole lot of bad there. It started with DTR bobbling the snap. I'm not sure if it was too hot. Hinton got beat around the edge. Aquara smoked DTR, and Henry, who started training camp with the Eagles, ends up getting the pick six against the team he was with all offseason. I mean, this is why I say that NFL preseason football is the greatest reality show. Some of this stuff you just can't make up if you try.
And the extra point is good. But that one did not go well, as you said, on a lot of levels.
Yeah, I want to take another look at that snap, because with Drew Kendall at left guard, Brett Toth is now at center. Let's watch the snap from Brett Toth.
It's a little high.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little high and a little hot, but that's, I mean, you would expect the quarterback to catch that one every time. Kelsey used to put a lot of heat on his snaps. That is not a bad snap from Brett Toth.
Now, there was one yesterday where they were going in the walkthrough, and Toth actually snapped it right into the face of Dorian Thompson-Robinson, but that wasn't the snap as much as it was a miscalculation on the snap count. He snapped it early while they were walking through yesterday.
Yeah, you see Toth talking with Jeff Stoutland on the sideline. I don't have a big problem with that snap. It's not going to be perfect every time. DTR needs to catch that one. Toth showing the versatility that Juergens just talked about. Was left guard, now he's playing center.
Ooh. That is a lot of contact. And Van Sumeren brings it out about the 30-yard line. You looking to take your football skills to the next level? Check out Eagles Youth Football Academy clinics. Clinics are a perfect place for kids age 5 to 14 to learn directly from Eagles legends, picking up real tips and techniques to help sharpen their skills. Visit EaglesAcademies.com now to register for clinics this fall.
And if 100 of you sign up right now at EaglesAcademies.com, Scott will also go to all of the sessions and do the best he can in those drills.
I would do that anyway.
That would be, I would pay money. I'm joking, by the way, everybody. I'm joking. But I would pay money to see you in that situation, Scott. But look at this. I mean, they're not messing around today with this quarterback rotation. Now Kyle McCord is back in the game.
Eagles take over at the 30-yard line after the pick six goes the other way, and not a lot of room to run, but pushing the pile forward to about the 33-yard line. That is 3 tough yards on a hot day, and it's straight up the middle for Keelan Robinson.
So Kylen Granson gets up a little bit gimpy there. That's not a good sign. He might be the number 3 tight end for this team. The things we're watching now, certainly Kyle McCord trying to be the number 3 quarterback. Anaya Smith is still out there. You got the 2 rookie draft picks in at tackle, Toth and Kendall at left guard and center. A lot of guys here to keep an eye on.
Hard running again right up the middle of the field, and that's going to be good for first down yardage on a pickup of 7 for Robinson.
All right, let's watch Drew Kendall at left guard right here. Let's see what he can do on a little inside trap. I mean, the guy fell down. That always helps, but okay, we'll count it. We'll count it as a pancake. Even though the guy tripped, he was still able to knock Ralph Hawley to the ground again.
I'm not going to say anything about something I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
That's not a pancake.
Yes, it is.
It's not. Man was on all fours when he got hit.
When in doubt, give him the stat. Give him the pancake.
All right.
You know, what's interesting about that, though, is that's called an influenced block right there, where the Eagles didn't touch him at the line of scrimmage. If you're a D tackle, right, the last thing you're expecting is no contact whatsoever. So it works sometimes if you just totally let the guy go and then trap him. Teams actually try to trap the Eagles a lot because those guys are flying upfield, that you can kind of have them take themselves out of the play a little bit with their penetration.
After no gain on first down, second down on the full boat, they got to get it just across the midfield stripe. And back to the ground once again for Robinson out near the 43.
Let's take a look at my guy Drew Kendall, who's had such a good camp. Watch him pass off this stunt at Boston College. That's a complicated three-man stunt, so you know he has the brains. Now, he is not Jason Kelsey or Cam Jurgens as an athlete, but he's good enough. I mean, that's a pretty good athlete right there. I was teammates with his dad for a few weeks in Washington. I kind of knew when Washington traded for his dad that might be just about it for me. His dad, Pete, was a heck of a player. First-round pick, made the All-Pro team a couple times.
Oh, my. That is a receiver and a quarterback not on the same page. Granson was coming across. He looked down, wasn't looking for the ball at all. And another near interception.
Remember, these guys don't get very many reps in practice. You'll see Granson right here. It's going to be a shallow cross, okay? Now he's running against the zone. You want to sit down. So he was about to do the right thing. Against man coverage, you keep running on a crossing route. Against zone, you want to try to throttle down. It looked like a pretty errant pass there from McCord at first glance.
Man punting it away. Marvin Dan inside his own 10. And wow,
Nice.
that is great, great coverage downfield. Timeout on the field after another big special teams play. The Browns get it back when we come back. Eagles fan for the Eagles Fan of the Year, presented by Ticketmaster. Let's take it down to Dave Spadaro.
I'm here with head coach DeSean Jackson, Eagles legend, of course. How's it going, Coach?
Man, it's going good. Coach Jack, man, to be exact. But it's going great, man. The process has been good, man. Just getting my guys ready for August 28th. Our first game is right around the corner.
Well, you will be here against Michael Vick in Norfolk State. Delaware State will play against just a legendary game here at Lincoln Financial Field, October 30th. DeSean, first tell me, what is it like being a head coach? It's a different perspective on the game of football, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, it's more than X's and O's. I think, you know, off the field as far as in college, man, you got to worry about guys going to school, making sure they're getting the right grade point average, making sure you're checking the balances on everything. I think football is the easiest part. It's more the everything else, the compliance, the admissions, and making sure, like I said, guys are where they got to be at the right time.
Is it an offense that DeSean Jackson would like to play in?
Yeah.
What can we expect to see from you?
Fast and the furious, man. It's the slide offense, man. We got the slide offense where we play very fast, kind of, you know, similar to, you know, the no huddle. You know what I'm saying? So everything we're doing is on a run. But we're trying to keep the defense off guard as well, too. So we're trying to score a lot of points, man, to keep the defense off guard.
Now, Michael Vick will be on the other sideline. I know you guys are good buddies, but on that day, it will be competition, will it not?
We're not speaking on that day. we already made agreement that, you know, we'll talk before and after, but, like, between those white lines, man, and between that game, you know, those 3 hours are going to be hard battled, and it'll be tough, but I'm looking forward, you know, for our success for sure.
October 30th, Lincoln Financial Field, Delaware State, Norfolk State. Michael Vick and DeSean Jackson going at it. It's going to be fun.
Hey, man, show up and show out. I need everybody to come support at Philadelphia. We're in the building right here in our backyard where we scored a lot of points and touchdowns and big plays. But I'm the home team. We're the home team, so we got to go to the visitor locker room.
DeSean, thanks so much. Coach Jackson, thank you so much.
Coach Jack.
Coach Jack. Okay, thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
That is an awful lot of fun. I'm not sure that I necessarily saw coaching as the first thing that he was going to be doing right now, but
Either one of those guys, Mike Vick and DeSean Jackson, some good signs, though, here for the Eagles on defense in the third quarter. Patrick Johnson, who else made a big play on first down for a tackle for loss? That guy always seems to make plays in the preseason. Then Jacorian Bennett back out there at corner. This is huge because of him coming off that shoulder injury, that he's able to be out there and get more snaps in Vic Fangio's defense.
third down and 15, and that's going to be nowhere near close to first down yardage, even with the completed pass to Larmadan. And so the Browns will bring out the punting unit after getting just 7.
One of those things where I don't know, if Patrick Johnson will make this roster or not, but it certainly seems like he always makes enough plays that he should be on some roster.
Bojorquez going to punt it away. Avery Williams back deep for the Eagles at his own 25. That's a good one. Williams from the 15 trying to build a wall to the outside. It never materialized. And he is stopped just across the 25. But it was the defense that set things up. Tremendous play by Johnson for the loss. Looking for a fun new fitness class with an Eagles twist? Come join us September 27th for Run the Steps, presented by Independence Blue Cross. This exciting event invites fans to run the steps of Lincoln Financial Field, offering a unique way to exercise while engaging with fellow Eagles fans. Runners of all skill levels are welcome, so get your tickets now at PhiladelphiaEagles.com/runthesteps. If that's where you were going next, Ross, no, not a chance.
Have you ever run stadium steps?
Can't say that I have.
It's a really good workout.
I'm sure it is. First down from the 27. Not a lot of offense here in the third quarter, and that trend continues. Now, I said I wouldn't do this, but one guy apparently would. Check this out earlier today. That is none other than our Dave Spadaro.
Yeah, you know, Scott, it's something I do. I just like to run the steps. It's a great workout. It's very peaceful when there's nobody here. But when you're with a group of people, I think for all you workout warriors, come to Lincoln Financial Field and do it. You will be exhausted when you are finished. I mean, Scott, look at me. I feel great. I look great. And the steps are part of it.
You only did the one run up the steps, right?
Come on now. It's part of my thing.
Got it.
I hope he took a shower after that.
I absolutely did not. It is such a steam bath down here. It's such a steam bath down here, and why would shower help me at all? I've been dripping sweat, buckets of sweat here. The Eagles have their fan with all the moisture coming in and being soaked on the bench. Not for guys like me. We're just absorbing the sun. It's hot down here. Congratulations to all these fans who are out here loving Eagles football, because there's a lot of them, and it's a hot, hot Saturday in Lincoln Financial Field.
Imagine it being hot in Philly in August. Third down, McCord gets it batted at the line of scrimmage. So we have seen, with that loss of 3 yards, I believe, Ross, if my calculation is correct, 28 yards combined of total offense here in this third quarter.
I was about to say, if you like 3 and outs, this third quarter is for you. It's been ugly on the offensive side of the ball. That's what happens sometimes, though, with some of these backup offensive linemen out there. You get penalties, you get negative yardage plays.
So Mann will kick it away once again to Larvidan, who stands just inside his own 25. That's a good one. A very good one. Wow. That get a whole lot better than that. Super punt with no possibility of a return.
All right, Scott, it's been a little sluggish third quarter here. Let's get some Tanner time. All right, let's reminisce about last Thursday night. Tanner McKee lighting up the Bengals, including some of their starters. Single high, let it fly on the back shoulder throw to Johnny Wilson. Look, this might have been his best throw. Looks the safety to the left and then pinpoint to Cooper. And then again, they have the 3-level concept here to the right, which puts the defender in a bind. Tanner buys some extra time and puts it right on McKee. I mean, he was so good last week that he's not even playing this week. That's usually a pretty good sign.
At 252 and 3 scores, that was the most by any quarterback in a preseason game all last week.
I think I said last week, Scott, during the game on social media, that Tanner McKee makes my life better, which is absolutely true. I mean, we call the Eagles preseason games on television. When that guy's in, good things happen. He makes our life better, and also makes it and shows just how hard it is to play sometimes with some of the backups, which speaks to just how well McKee has performed when he's been out there.
You have a way of saying things that is uniquely your own.
What did I do? What did I say?
Tanner McKee makes your life better.
He does. Perry Nickerson, look at 34 out there. He's 30 years old, right? A lot of people watching have never heard of Perry Nickerson. You don't know much about him. He's primarily been a nickel back. He's bounced around the league. But this is a guy that's carved out a career where he's 30 years old and he's still making money playing professional football. That is hard to do.
Trying for 3rd down, stop now on defense. Huntley throwing, batted at the line of scrimmage, and the Browns are going to be forced to punt it away. Jacob Sykes got the hand on it.
Well, they ran a stunt, so let's look at it. I think it's an ET, right? That means Okoronkwo's up and then in, Sykes loops around. So you're trying to pick that guy. Sykes is free. Huntley's got to get rid of it. Sykes gets his arm up and gets a hand on the ball. He made a play last week on a swim move against the run. Now he makes a play on a twist. The former San Antonio Brahma, he said last week, Scott, you're not familiar with their work, but Sykes is trying to make you respect the name.
Right now I respect it a little bit more. Elias Smith back at his own 21. And he'll get it out near the 30. Eagles fans, get ready. Eagles Radiothon bidding is officially live. This year you can bid on unique experiences like golfing with Saquon Barkley and Jason Kelce, sitting courtside at a Sixers game with Zach Vaughn, and so much more. The best part, all the proceeds will benefit the Eagles Autism Foundation. Don't miss out. Head over to eaglesradiothon.com to place your bids today.
That's a tough one. Who would you rather golf with?
But you get to golf with both of them,
Barkley,
right?
or Jason Kelce? Oh, you get both?
Both.
Wow. So you don't even have to make that call, make that decision.
Now there are some very good things to bid on, and we encourage you to do that, obviously for a great cause, great prizes that you can bid on and win.
And that's the type of guys, by the way, that Saquon and Jason Kelce are. You know, golfing in an event like that to raise money for a charity. They're not getting paid for that or anything like that. They're doing that because they believe in the cause.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson's back in at quarterback. Shanderick Powell gets his first carry of the day. Second effort running, got him a couple, maybe a yard.
This is one of the more unique quarterback rotations we've ever seen, Scott, with guys coming in and out. You know, I'll tell you what I like about it, right? If either one of these guys ever got into a game, you don't know when it's going to be. You know, it's not like before the game, if you're the number 2 or number 3 guy, they say, hey, Kyle, you're going to start the second half. It doesn't work that way. You don't ever know when you're going in. So they're making sure both these guys are ready at a moment's notice.
And the quick throw to the outside. Dancing out of bounds is Powell, the rookie out of Central Arkansas. And he's up to about the 33-yard line, so it's going to be a 3rd down and long situation.
Can't even begin to tell you how good Powell must have been in college to be able to get signed at 5'7", 183 pounds playing FCS football. You know, it's not like he was doing that at Florida or Alabama. He was doing it at Central Arkansas, and he's 5'7", 183. Let's watch him on this play, if he can get out in a route or if it's blitz pickup.
It was pickup. He tried to leak out, and all kinds of hand-fighting contact going on, but Marshall couldn't haul it in on the near sideline.
Man, there sure was. I'm a little surprised that no flag was thrown there. Let's take a look at it. Bottom of your screen, it's man-to-man coverage. You got Terrace Marshall going against Kenan Isaac, right? Oh, yeah, I think you got to call that, right? I mean, as Marshall tried to fight back for the ball, didn't he tug him with his left hand? Would maybe need another angle for that one. I will say this, Marshall probably could have done a better job, Scott, of trying to fight through the contact and draw the penalty.
That's an art form for an experienced receiver. Man's punt, a trickle into the end zone for the touchback. Late here in the 3rd quarter of preseason game number 2, if you're just tuning in, there have been some notable changes on the defensive side of the football. That's one of the biggest right there, the retirement, the emotional retirement of Brandon Graham. But Russ, some key players no longer here.
A lot of guys that were major factors in them winning the Super Bowl last year. Then you get defense with the first 5 picks in the draft. Certainly the Eagles recognizing that they needed to fortify the ranks. And some of those guys are still out there, right? You see Ty Robinson, 95. Smile Munden, 42, is out there.
Throw back to the near side. And a modest gain. We're back down to Dave Spadaro.
Yeah, and you talk about the defense and how you replenish the defense. One of the ways the Eagles did it was by signing a whole lot of players to one-year contracts. Joshua Uche on defense, Adoree Jackson on defense. You know, the Eagles also brought in Azeez Ojulari on defense. So these are players that the Philadelphia Eagles want to give that one-year deal to. Early in the game, we talked with Zach Bond, the role model for a one-year contract. He turned that into a lucrative deal, a long-term deal with the Eagles. Every one of these players wants to follow the path of what Zach Bond did last year. And for Howie Roseman and the Eagles, it's an opportunity to give these players an opportunity, right? One-year deal, and then next year, double-digit draft capital. So the Eagles rebuilding the defense on the fly. And so far in camp, they are very pleased with what has happened. And the quarter is over. 19-13, Cleveland Browns lead.
I don't even need to be here. We're going to the fourth. Right now, the difference in the game is a pick 6. 15 minutes more of football to play. Quarter, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL and proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. 15 more minutes of football. Not a good sign. A.J. Woods was carted back off the field, back toward the locker room. Spent the season last year on the practice squad for the Eagles after being let go by Washington at the end of camp a year ago. We begin the fourth quarter with a 3rd down and short. The Browns, who've been converting them today, convert this one big. Look out. Strong down the sideline, a huge gain. And he had all kinds of room to run on that right side for 52 yards.
Well, let's watch Smile Munden, because I feel like he's had a good game. We'll see what happens to him on this play. He didn't see it. He got fooled by the motion there and gave the right guard an unbelievable angle with which to block him. You know, that's one of the things. We know Munden can run and hit. He's made several nice plays in this game, but it's sometimes the play recognition. That's a nice scheme there by the Browns.
Cleveland back into the red zone, and we're going to keep it on the ground. We mentioned a little bit earlier, it showed a little bit earlier, after taking that shot on the far sideline, that Jacorian Bennett left the field. Well, he has been back in this ball game now.
Yeah, that's huge, because he can play. I mean, I'm telling you, doing a couple of his games last year for the Raiders, I think he's a starting corner in the league. But as he told us, he's playing catch-up in Vic Fangio's system. So these are valuable, valuable reps.
Huntley throwing and hauling it in. Sal Cannella, the tight end on the far side of the field, down at the 10 after a 5-yard pickup. That'll be a 3rd down and 2.
How about Huntley, Scott? He's the 6th quarterback on the Browns roster. 6. And they've got 3 that are hurt. They really just signed him because they don't want to play their starter, Flacco. Shedeur Sanders has the oblique injury. Gabriel and Pickett both had hamstrings. Watson still coming back from his surgery.
3rd down's going to come up short. All right, here's one for you. Since they re-entered the NFL in 1999, Ross, how many starting quarterbacks have the Browns had?
I have no idea, but I know this. Byron Young made a play, and we needed him to. Watch 94, Byron Young against the center. That's a nice play by Young. Just absolutely discards the center, Bucky Williams. What's the answer, by the way?
40.
40 quarterbacks since 99?
Next closest competition is 30.
Wow. So they're winning.
Yeah.
Kind of. Big play here.
Trying to stand up on 4th down. Huntley has the option, throws the ball, and it's incomplete. Defense stands up. We do have a flag on the play on the far side of the field. Going to get the rare offside on the offense.
Offside, offense, number 84. Penalties decline. His own play is a first down.
So the Eagles defense holds. Patrick Johnson and company getting back off the field and giving the ball back to the offense.
With 12
forward. Dorian Thompson-Robinson checking back into the ball game. 12:18 to go. Somebody would love to be able to lead an extended drive. We haven't seen one yet from the home team today. And a long way to go, starting off after the defense held at their own 10-yard line. And it starts with a run of just a couple of yards up the middle. Now, we were talking about the Eagles Autism Foundation and raising money. Shorebird's fundraiser. Look at the dance moves. I mean, bartending is one thing, but the dancing along with it really brings, I think, another level of entertainment.
I didn't know that was going to be on TV. I thought it was just somebody with a phone or something. By the way, you know what song I was singing to?
No.
It Takes Two.
Of course. Little throw over the top. That's going to be close to first down yardage for Nick Muse. He's up to about the 19-yard line. It's about a yard shy, bringing up third down and short.
Do you know who sings It Takes Two?
Well, it's not Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, is it?
I don't even know who those are.
Well, that's who's
Rob Bass. It takes two to make a thing go right.
Oh, different. It Takes Two.
It takes two to make it out of sight.
Different.
What did you say?
I'm a Motown guy.
Wow. Sounds like you just said old in a different words.
There's so many ways I could go here right now. Third down and short. Oh my. Powell trying to make something out of nothing, but couldn't. He was met before he ever got his legs underneath him and ends up losing 8 yards on the play.
Got to take a look at this blocking scheme. All right, I don't think that he gets touched coming off the edge there. Let's take a look at it. Is that Cam Thomas? I can't tell the number. Yep. Yeah, that's a bad deal right there. I mean, if you're just going to run the ball up the middle like that, you can't leave that guy unblocked. There was nothing to hold him on the backside.
It has been a challenge moving the football for the Eagles offense today.
And now O'Shawn Mathis is late to get out there on the punt team. That could be because A.J. Woods got hurt. You never know, but those are the things they go over all the time at walkthrough the day before the game.
That's calling out the guys who are out, the guys who are out. The other player needs to know that when that guy's out, I go back in. Larvidan's got a little bit of a corner to turn, and he does into Eagles territory. So timeout on the field. 9:51 left to go in preseason game number 2. Bank is the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. Visit firsttrust.com to learn more. Let's check in with Dave Spadaro.
Well, guys, I'm here with Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert, the master of the stiff arm. We saw it in the playoffs, Dallas. Everybody loves watching it. How do you actually do it? Could you demonstrate?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the most important thing, I mean, you can't grab their face mask, but if you hit them in the face, oh no, not the shiny head. They just don't want to. They just can't keep reaching forward. So if you can just poke their face mask
without grabbing the face mask.
Yeah, you can't grab it, but you can push their head back, and makes it tough for them to keep pursuing forward.
Does it make you feel like a beast when you're doing it?
Yeah, definitely. It's always been one of my favorite moves, all the way from when I started playing football in 7th grade. But I don't want to get hit, so if I can just push away with my arm, it's a little bit easier than lowering the shoulder, running somebody over.
What was this week like with Cleveland?
It was a lot of fun with Cleveland. We got really good work against them. They got some great players over there on defense that we got to work against. So, going against Myles Garrett is always the most fun, but you definitely get good work and get a grow from it. So it was fun going against them. It was good work, and glad they came out.
I know the focus is on right here, right now, but in a couple of weeks, Dallas is going to be in town. The banner is going to be lowered. It's going to be nationally televised first game of the season. Do you think about that at all?
When you bring it up, I think about it. Haven't really thought about it next. Like you said, we're just focused on the day and getting better each and every day. But when you look around, it's going to be pretty sweet seeing that banner drop. But like you said, we're moving on to this year. That was all last year. Enjoy it for a quick second and flip the switch.
How good can this offense be in 2025?
The sky's the limit. Obviously, we got to keep putting in the work each and every day, but offensively, starting with the offensive line, we got an incredible offensive line, weapons on the outside, weapons at quarterback, weapons at wide receiver. We're just
and tight end.
And tight end. Hopefully they double team everybody else. I can be open all day. So, but it's going to be a lot of fun playing with this team.
We can see the stiff arm all the way down to the end zone. Dallas Goedert, thank you so much. Good luck this season. Thanks for spending time with us on the side. There's Dallas Goedert.
And we haven't gotten much into how the schedule is going to lay out. We will certainly next week. But it's not an easy way to begin the year. 3 of their first 4 games against division winners from last year. A big play from Huntley to Larbadan has Cleveland once again inside the red zone now. No gain on first down.
There was a lot of talk this offseason, Scott, that Dallas Goedert might not be a part of this team this year. So credit to Howie Roseman, the Eagles front office, for figuring that out. Figuring out a way to keep Dallas Goedert on this roster for this team. I believe he's a top 5 tight end in the NFL, and they certainly are a much better offense, I believe, when 88's out there.
Huntley setting up his screen, and it's well blocked. That's a nice play from behind. Kind of a saving tackle by Tristan McCollum. That's your just a little snapshot. 4th hardest strength of schedule in the league. 11 games against playoff teams, tied for the most with the Detroit Lions.
Well, that's what happens when you win the Super Bowl, and also their divisional crossovers are very difficult this year. But thankfully, the Eagles have the roster to be up for the task, and they have a chance here to make another stop on 3rd and 4.
And Huntley scrambling, gets caught. Got a late flag coming in. I think that's going to be against the offense. We'll wait on Clete Blakeman. Joe Evans.
It is interesting, isn't it? As preseason games go, the penalties go up, right? You got guys out there that are less experienced. They get less reps. They're more likely to make some sort of mistake.
Kind of a long conference among the officials.
2 fouls against the offensive play. Holding, number 69. Illegal shift. 2 players moving at the same time. Both those penalties are declined by Philadelphia. Will bring up 4th down.
Let's take a look at the Eagles' pass rush here. I think Joe Evans is the guy that ends up getting in on the sack. They were trying to run a quick screen to the left. I don't know why Huntley didn't throw it, but they barely even blocked Joe Evans. That was not a drop back pass. They were trying to get it out of his hands quickly, and if the scheme is designed to get the ball to the quarterback's hands quickly and he doesn't, that's the result.
So Andre Schmidt will try a 33-yard field goal to extend the Cleveland lead. And it is good. Once again, the defense keeps the Browns out of the end zone. Now it's the offense's turn with under 7 minutes to go. Take a look at our play of the game presented by Independence, official health insurance partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is a pretty clear and obvious winner of the play of the game.
Yeah, for the Eagles, certainly. Andrew Mukuba, in his first action after missing the first preseason game with a shoulder injury. You want to talk about making your presence felt. Not 1, but 2 turnovers, including that pick 6. There was some thought that perhaps Sidney Brown had locked up that job next to Reed Blankenship because Mukuba had missed a lot of time, but with the way Makuba played today, I think they're going to have to give him a really long, hard look. And they still have plenty of time, by the way. They don't need to be on anybody else's timeline. And I'll say this too, Scott. They don't need to announce it to us or anybody else. No. Yeah, I think we're all curious who's going to start opposite Quinyon Mitchell, who starts next to Zach Vaughn, who starts next to Reed Blankenship. The reality is there's nothing compelling the Eagles to do that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't tell us at all. Why tell the Cowboys for the opener who's starting at those spots? Make the Cowboys have to prepare for all these guys.
Again, it makes a lot of sense. Even as you point out, if that decision is made by a certain point in time. Ewan Robinson returning this kickoff. Wow, another flag. 2 of them, in fact. And out to about the 30. Let's go down to Dave Spadaro.
You know, Ross and Scott, I think it's important to talk about what happens when the preseason is over and how teams use those 2 weeks to prepare for the regular season. Ross, you know, what you see in preseason, what you see in training camp is often nothing like what you're going to see when you start to game plan and scheme for an opponent. So while we talk about the personnel, for sure, but also the X's and O's change dramatically. Ross, what was it like with you when you played for those 2 weeks getting ready for the opener?
Well, you're exactly right, Dave, because up until this point, it's all been public practices, right? So while a guy like Kevin Patullo has shown some of the new stuff that the Eagles are working on, you gotta think he's been saving his best stuff for as soon as the practices are no longer public, right? He doesn't want anybody to see some of the new schemes and plays and designs that he's come up with. So they will shift very quickly into regular season and Dallas Cowboys mode.
The game changes, the personnel changes, and the roles of the players often change as well. So again, that's why it's so exciting when you see the opener and you get a sense of what this team is all about. And truly, we will not know how good the Philadelphia Eagles of 2025 are until we're in a month or so into the season. And that's kind of the way it was last year, right? 2-2 start, and then the Eagles took off after that 16 wins in their last 17 games in the regular season. So it does take time to come together. And what you're seeing now is getting from 90 players to 53 in a matter of 2 weeks.
When you take a look at what is out there with those first 4 weeks, obviously the Cowboys, a lot of emotion in that game. Then you go get your Super Bowl rematch in Kansas City. Come back here for a Rams team that if their quarterback is healthy, they can be a handful. And then on the road against the Buccaneers, a team that played well last year and seems to have found their quarterback. Not an easy start.
Not at all. I mean, certainly those last 3, and you think the Rams and the Bucs, certainly the Chiefs, all 3 of them have top 10 quarterbacks in my mind.
On third down, McCord finds enough for the first down. Taylor Morin makes the catch just at the 30-yard line, and that's enough to move the sticks.
Eagles down 9, so obviously they would need 2 scores to try to win this game. Not a ton of sense of urgency for them right now coming out of the huddle. They're more focused on running plays, making sure guys are lined up correctly and being able to execute some of these basic concepts.
That's pretty much what the offense has been about here today, with the 3rd and 4th quarterbacks out on the field. Up to about the 36, 5-yard pickup for Taylor Morin once again.
You know, Drew Kendall and Brett Toth are still out there. I mean, they might end up playing the whole game. They flopped at the end of the first half. Flipped, I guess is the better word. Toth is now at center. Kendall's at left guard. I counted 19 transactions for Toth's career. 19 transactions in his 7 years in the NFL. But the coaching staff trusts him. Certainly Jeff Stoutman does, and he sticks around. Speaking of trust, how much does Kyle McCord trust Taylor Morin? That's 3 straight to number 45.
Yep, they're playing their own private game of catch. Another 5-yard pickup, another first down.
Well, Morin had a nice career at Wake Forest, 6-year career, which is a lot more common now with the guys that had the COVID year. But you can tell so much of life and relationships is trust, and McCord trusts Marin.
Flag down on the play. That ball tipped, and I believe it's picked off. Nathaniel Watson's got it, picking it out of the air as he sprawled down for the football. I believe he caught it before it hit the ground. And now we got to find out about the flag. That crowd booing the
defense number 52 lined up in the neutral zone. The 5-yard penalty. We play first down.
That whole celebration that's getting booed right now is all for naught because it is not an interception. It is an offside.
Take a look and see who jumps for the Browns, unless maybe he was just lined up in it. I think they think he was just lined up in the neutral
up
zone
on top.
Right
it was
there.
Henry.
KJ Henry.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy that was with the Eagles all offseason, who had the pick 6 earlier. Now he lines up in the neutral zone, gives the Eagles a chance to keep this drive going. And this matters, by the way. This matters for the offensive linemen that are out there, the receivers, and it sure matters for Kyle McCord to show what he can do in this situation.
And McCord letting it fly. That was a 50-50 ball, and Latu, who made a big special teams play earlier, couldn't haul it in.
Pretty good pocket initially, I thought, Scott, and I thought McCord probably could have stayed in there, but then Huntington, 66, who's a crazy story, by the way, was chasing him down. Huntington, if you watched the tape last week, Huntington's a D tackle. I think he made 3 tackles, Scott, on kickoffs for the Browns. 6'1", 281, flying down on kickoffs, making tackles last week. The rookie had it too late. Here comes the blitz.
They pick it up, and that should get him something, except Keilan Robinson forgot the football. He had room to run on that outside, but ran before he caught it.
This is so good, though. Watch Kendall, okay? Watch Drew Kendall. He's in there at left guard. He reads the blitz, eats it up. They came with 2 inside blitzes. Keegan at right guard, Kendall at left guard. They were both all over it. McCord put it right on him, and obviously that is one that's going to eat Keilan Robinson up at night when he tries to sleep. He knows he needs to make that play, but good to see Kendall, even at a new spot, be able to make that block.
3rd and 5, and that's an errant throw to an open receiver. It was there. And that opportunity for a first down was there for Giles Jackson, and McCord just misfired.
Boy, that's a rough back-to-back plays for the Eagles right there. The drop by Robinson and the miss by McCord. I mean, both of those have to be layups, but they got to put it behind them and make a play here on 4th down.
One more shot to keep this drive alive with 3:35 to go. Jackson in motion to the near side. And a timing throw, lot of contact. Wow, that was a reach for the flag, and then, nope, incomplete. The official on the side of the field reached for the flag and then decided against it. And the Eagles are turned away on downs.
Take a look at the top of your screen. Man-to-man coverage, in-breaking route. It was supposed to be, oh yeah, he tugged him. Yep. He pulled the jersey. You have to call that.
Christian Holmes was all over him out there.
I mean, all the contact is okay. The end of that's okay. But when he went on the in-breaking route and Jones tugged the jersey, you have to call that. Or Watson, I'm sorry. You have to call that. You see Holmes right there with that left jersey pulling it. Now, you would think the Browns would run clock here, but maybe they want to continue to see some of these receivers in action.
Or watch Tyler Huntley run with the football. Kept it himself on the option and got down inside the 40.
Mac McWilliams, the rookie 5th-round pick out of UCF, is still out there. He's a guy that you watch his tape. He's more of an inside nickel, but he's been getting a chance to play outside a lot for the Eagles during this camp. His tape had a lot of the same plays as Makuba in terms of making plays on the football. McWilliams and Eli Ricks are the two outside corners right now for the Eagles.
Back to the ground. That's a good job of shutting down the run. Not much there, maybe a gain of about a yard. Clock continues to run as we approach 2.5 minutes left.
Browns will be able to take this down to the 2-minute warning, and they should.
Indeed, they will be able to take it down to the 2-minute warning. It's a long week of work for Nick Sirianni's squad. You have the intensity that you have of the joint practices, really mini games going on 2 days this week in the hot weather, and now this one out here today. 2 minutes left. Browns by 9. Well, a lot of the good things that we saw from the Eagles came in the first half of this ball game, Ross.
It did. It was the rookie draft picks, right? The first rounder, Jahad Campbell with the sack, Andrew Makuba with the pick 6, which was the play of the game for the Eagles. Then he also was able to jump on a fumble, which led to this Kyle McCord touchdown to Ainias Smith. So you saw a bunch of really good things from some of the Eagles draft picks, which were encouraging.
Not a whole lot of offense today from the Eagles. They're still not at 100 yards for the day, but that's not really what this game specifically is about.
Well, especially after all the work they got in during those 2 joint practices. We didn't see Tanner McKee. We didn't see Will Shipley. If Johnny Wilson was out there, it wasn't for very long. Tyler Steen wasn't at right guard. So I think the guys they felt like they had seen enough from already, they didn't need them out here today. It was more about getting a better look at some of these other guys that played a lot today.
So now you start talking about what the defense has done out here today, and they have stood up a number of times. And you start talking about a couple of the things that we had mentioned, and those are the draft picks that are getting it done today. But defense a couple of times has turned Cleveland away deep in their own end.
Right, and Jacorian Bennett, who they traded for last week, he made a nice play as well. But that's highly encouraging. I thought Munden performed much better today than he did last week, which is what you want to see from some of these rookies, building on what they did in preseason week 1.
Eagles want the ball back. They need a stop. And they're not going to get it. Now you get a little bit of pushing and shoving at the tail end of a steamy day and a long work week.
So this is interesting, right? Because the Browns can obviously just take a knee, and in a regular season game, that is what you would do. You know, in a regular season game, the Eagles would be calling timeouts too, but I don't think anybody wants to see any of these guys get hurt. I don't think they'll run plays here. I think they'll just take a knee, but sometimes you want to see what some of these third-string guys that are out there right now can do. I don't think that's going to be the case in this one. No, I don't know. Maybe they are going to run a play here. Oh, no, they take a knee.
So that is going to bring us right near the end of game number 2. Game 3 next week. Back to the New York Jets. Haven't seen them in the last couple of summers. Friday from the Meadowlands at 7:30.
And for a lot of these guys, Scott, that'll be their last chance to make a push for this roster or this practice squad. While the coaches have already formed some opinions, you can always make a last statement that can change their mind and be the difference between hundreds of thousands of dollars, which will be on the line next Friday night.
Did you ever make a team in the last preseason game?
You know, I think I did my rookie year. I had a broken hand in Washington, and I was flying around, and I think they were either going to put me on practice squad or active roster, and that was enough to get me over the hump.
And there's the hug. Kevin Stefanski and Nick Sirianni. Good seeing Kevin Stefanski back in town again. Like we said, a Philly guy, Penn guy. And a long week of spending a lot of time together for these two teams has now come to an end. Drew Makuba, big first day out on the field in an Eagles uniform. But the Browns end up taking this one. Thanks for joining us for Game 2. Back Friday, August 22nd at 7:30. The Eagles travel up the Turnpike to take on the Jets. Stay tuned to NBC 10 for the postgame. For Dave Spadaro and Ross Tucker, I'm Scott Graham. Good night from Philadelphia.